What is up, my sexy McMuffins? Thank you so much for rocking with me. So, you've pulled a list from your favorite list provider. You were able to get a hold of a seller, and you guys agreed to terms regarding purchasing a property. And you're looking to either flip or wholesale this property, but you don't have the proper documentation to do so. In this video, I'm going to break down my standard residential purchase agreement and assignment contract so you can make $10,000 to $20,000 in the next 30 days, flipping and wholesaling real estate. If you guys don't know, my name is Tysondelacruz, and I flipped my entire life around with the utilization of real estate, and you can too. So let's jump right into this. I've been getting a lot of DMs regarding residential purchase agreement, or how do we tie up a purchase? How do we tie up a property under contract? I'm going to break this down for you guys. Here we go. All right. So this is a standard residential purchase agreement. This is the actual residential purchase agreement that we use. So let me see. Here we go. Okay. Just want to make sure that we're full screen here. So this is standard residential purchase agreement. If you need this particular purchase agreement, I'm going to place that in the link below. You'll get the purchase agreement and the assignment contract so you can make money in the next 30 days. This first line item here is going to be the agreement date. Very simple, very straightforward. If you're an existing realtor, you know how to navigate through this. If not, this might be new to you. It might be new to you. Agreement date, very simple. In this line right here, you're going to put the seller's name and or assignee to the buyer. The reason why I put that in case you need to assign the contract. So you're going to place the seller's name right here, the buyer's name right here. Personally, honestly, I'd put your LLC. Property. The property hereby agrees that the seller will sell and the buyer will buy the following property located in this particular state: Arkansas, Nevada, California, wherever the property is located. You're going to place the known address for this particular property. The sale also includes all personal property and fixtures remaining after 60 days. The move-out period, unless specifically excluded. All other items will be included, whether or not affixated to the property or structures. Property, real and personal, sold as is condition with all faults as the date on the specific agreement. The purchase price will be in here. If you and the seller agree to a specific purchase price, that's what you're going to place right here. Earnest money deposit is the amount of money that you're going to place into escrow. If you don't know what escrow is, leave that in the comments below. I'm sure somebody will tell you. And if not, you can YouTube it. Or if you want me to make a video specifically addressing what escrow is, please comment down below. So the earnest money is going to be placed into a reputable escrow or title company, whether that's $1,000, $100. If you don't have a lot of money, put $100, put $1,000, borrow $1,000 from somebody and put it in escrow. If you're going to close on it, you know you're going to make some money. Monies will be deposited in escrow within 5 days of signing. Super easy. Closing will be held on or before said date, whatever date you and the seller agree to. From the time of the signing placed, buyer shall choose an escrow, title company, or closing agent. Seller agrees to convey clear title by general warranty deed, free of any liens, judgments, or any other encumbrances. On the last page here, if you are taking the property subject to and you're new, just be wary because here it says free of any liens or judgments. If you're taking the property subject to, it's going to have liens, it's going to have encumbrances. Seller grants extension needed to clear title or to complete closing documentation. So guys, this covers your booty. This covers your booty hole in case you're not able to close on time. Taxes will be prorated at the time of closing. If seller cannot provide clear title, the buyer will be released from any further obligation on this contract. I spent a lot of money getting this together, so you guys can use this, and this is the best agreement that we've been able to come up with. At the time of closing, buyer shall pay the following closing costs. Buyer to pay all closing costs included, not limited to, seller's title insurance and escrow fees. At the time of closing, seller agrees to pay transfer tax. Seller agrees to pay any liens against the property if applicable. A super simple, straightforward, as is condition. Number 5, execution of counterparts. This agreement may be executed in all counterparts and facilitate through signatures. Inspection. Number 6, put your inspection date when you want to inspect the property. Personally, I like to inspect the property a few days prior to closing just to make sure that the property didn't burn down. Access is a huge one. Buyer shall be entitled to a key and entitled to access to show partners, lenders, inspectors, contractors prior to closing. Huge, huge, guys. You want to make sure that your seller is aware of this. Buyer may place an appropriate sign on the property prior to closing for prospective tenants and or assigns. This is super important too. You want to make sure that you have the seller's blessing because you want to promote your business. If you want to pop a sign in the yard, great. Say, hey, I bought this house for cash or buying this house for cash. So maybe you can get some more leads. Buyer shall be able to display the property on public websites and databases. This is huge because this gives you the right to market the property on MLS. That's a whole nother video. Contract is subject to partner approval and satisfactory approval and funding approval. An instance of non-approval must be communicated with the seller in writing within 3 days, or approval should not be deemed. Tenants. If one or more tenants occupy the property, any rental income, probate, seller shall provide all the leases to escrow, seller to provide all security deposits, cleaning deposits, keys, so on and so forth. This purchase agreement is rock hard. So you guys can use this. Miscellaneous. Neither buyer or seller are represented by a licensed agent. If you're a licensed realtor, this is super important because remember, you're not representing anybody during a principal purchase. If you're purchasing this property as a principal owner, you're not utilizing your licensing to represent anybody. Buyer may assign its rights under this agreement. Seller is aware that the buyer is purchasing the property to make a profit and may or may not market the property for sale or lease, including on the MLS. In the event of a dispute concerning the interpretation or enforcement of this agreement, the prevailing party shall recover their reasonable attorney's fees and costs. So in case something goes sideways or kiboshed, each party is responsible for their own attorney's fees. This additional terms: escrow shall be held at said escrow, 123 Escrow Company. This agreement shall become effective upon the satisfactory of the following conditions: once all signatures are in and escrow is opened up. This is a rock solid purchase agreement. You're going to sign here, or the seller's going to sign here. Date, you're going to sign here. Remember that the seller has to initial every single corner. Now, let's say you get this property under contract for $130,000 and you don't have the money to close on it, or you can't flip it right now and you're just wholesaling it and you want to make, a quick $20,000 because a flipper will purchase it at $150,000. In this market, a lot of investors will pay close to 85, 90% value because the way that appreciation is going up. In that scenario, if you're wholesaling this property, here's the contract for you, the assignment contract. In the considerable sum of whatever you're assigning this property to, or however much you're assigning this property to, defined below in other goods and valuable consideration, the mutual parties will be delivered to all parties to this agreement. And you're going to write the assigner does hereby assign to whoever. So your LLC is going to assign to whoever's purchasing it, whoever you're wholesaling it to. All rights by and between the purchaser and the seller. You're going to write the seller's name right here. This assignment is concerning the property. You're going to put the property address here. Assign agrees to close on said date. COE close before 5 p.m. on said date. Oops. And disbursements of the assignment shall be as follows. You're going to place, a $7,000 assignment fee, $20,000 assignment fee, whatever it is here. Up here, remember, you're going to place the total purchase price. Um, Earnest money deposit. So let's say you placed $1,000 in earnest money with the buyer, or with the seller, excuse me, and you have a buyer, and do $5,000, do $2,000, or do $1,000 so you can get your $1,000 back. Then you're going to place the executed agreement and expires on said and said date. I'll make sure that these are blacked out and underlined so you guys can use them accordingly. Assignee, assignor information, print, and date. And that, my friends, is the assignment contract and purchase agreement to help you make $10,000 to $20,000 in the next 30 days by either flipping a property or wholesaling it. Hopefully this video was helpful, straight to the point. If you guys did enjoy this, please go ahead and like it. And I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.